Now that the summer welterweight showdowns have completed, it's time to figure out what's next for this stacked division. So Ariel, let's play matchmaker. What fights do you want to see next at 170?
You know, for the longest time, 170 was kind of dull, Chael, but now all of a sudden, to steal a phrase from our good friend Old JR, business is picking up in the welterweight division. So we know that it's going to be Covington Usman. Dana White said it to the media, and there should have been really no questions surrounding that one. It had to be Covington Usman next. All right, so what else are we dealing with here? Well, since Covington is going to fight Usman, it has to be, in my opinion, Masvidal Edwards. That fight needs to happen. Masvidal punched Edwards backstage at a UFC event. They're both on a roll. There is a grudge match there. They need to figure it out in the cage. Much like Conor and Khabib had to figure it out after the attack in Brooklyn, this fight needs to come to fruition. They need to settle it. It's the only thing to do, and I would put it on the same card as Covington Usman, Madison Square Garden in November. All right, what else do we have? Well, we know that Ben Askren and Damian Maia are in talks to fight each other. Askren told me on my show Monday that it's all but done, that they're probably going to announce it later this week in Singapore. I like that fight very much. It's a nice fight for Askren to come back to after getting knocked out in 5 seconds. Here's another one that I'm thinking about, Chael. What about Tyron Woodley, the former champion? Sort of the odd man out. What do you think of Tyron Woodley versus Santiago Ponzinibbio? Also on a roll these days, needs a big fight. Woodley needs to get back on track. Nice little comeback fight for him. Why not? And then one more for you, RDA, Wonderboy Thompson, both coming off losses. I like that one very much. What do you think?
You know, I don't know if you needed to match up the entire organization, Helwani. I think that one or two would have done. I will tell you one that I'm really looking forward to that is a done deal, and that, of course, is Pettis versus Diaz. That's in Anaheim. I mean, look, next week, that one's right around the corner. I am very excited about that. Now, I must tell you, I talked to Kamaru yesterday. I am in the same boat as you. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that it will be him versus Colby Covington, and most likely even November 2nd at Madison Square Garden, as Colby alluded to. I asked Kamaru straight up. He said, no, that is not done. I have not signed that. I said, okay, I understand you haven't signed it, but that's the fight, right? And I was trying to go in a totally different topic. He's the one that froze me and stopped me there. He goes, Chael, it's a three-way dance right now between Colby, between Masvidal, and between Leon Edwards. And you want to know something? I'm going to take Masvidal out of the mix. It's between Colby and Leon Edwards, and I'm kind of leaning towards Leon. Now, before you say it, Helwani, yes, I'm aware he was working me. I'm aware that was a way of preserving the big announcement for when he fights Colby, but I couldn't get him off it. I asked him 4 or 5 times, hey, it is going to be Colby, right? Hey, Dana said, hey, Colby said, hey, you said, this is done. He's the one that kept going back and saying, I'm really most impressed with Leon. We're going to have a good talk. Maybe it's going to be Leon. I'm not reporting that. I'm quoting that.
I'm happy that you threw out the disclaimer that you knew that he was working you. They can announce this fight soon enough. You know why? Because every day, every time one of these guys does an interview, they say, it's on my terms. I will decide who's going to fight me next. It's like, come on, guys, enough. Really?
Stop.
With all due respect, Kamaru Usman, stop. You know that the most amount of money to be made is against Colby Covington. And Colby, stop. You know that the most amount of money to be made is against the champion. What are you guys doing? Enough with this. If you are sort of repelling the fight, then the fans aren't getting excited about the fight. We love the fights where it's like, you know, these two guys are going to collide and it's finally the irresistible force meets the immovable object. It's Aldo McGregor. We know there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. Stop with this. Oh, beg me. Enough. I hate that narrative. I hate that rhetoric. I'm happy you saw through it. There is no chance in hell, if presented both options, that Kamaru Usman is fighting Leon Edwards for. And that's not a knock on Edwards, but Edwards has business to take care of against Masvidal. Let's get that out of the way and let's do the fight that everyone wants to see. Usman versus Covington, New York City, Madison Square Garden. Dare I say, it's the best place possible for that particular fight.
I'll tell you what isn't the craziest idea that I've ever heard is Masvidal taking on Conor McGregor. Listen, that thing's got some steam to it, Ariel. I know Dana White first talked about it on TMZ. He talked about it in a way of saying, no, we're not going to do it. But he finished that statement by saying because Masvidal is too big. That made Conor McGregor upset. You and I saw right through that. We covered it on a piece right here on Ariel the Bad Guy. We knew that wasn't going to sit well with Conor McGregor. Look, you can call Conor McGregor anything you want, and most things you're going to call him or have to be a compliment. But if you want to be a hater, Add on the negative things. You cannot call that man a coward. He will leave his sport completely and go do something he's never even done before, like he did with Floyd Mayweather. It's not all a cash grab. It's about ego. It's about prize. It's about honor. Conor, it does have those old school martial arts mentality. And if you think anybody's going to get away going on TMZ and saying Conor won't fight somebody because somebody's too big, I'm telling you, that fight is not as far out there as a lot of people think it is.
Yeah, you called it because like 2 weeks later, Dana White at the press conference said, oh, I heard from Conor and he didn't like that very much. You called that one before the whole thing unfolded. Kudos to you. Also, don't forget about Nate Diaz. If he wins, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get into the Jorge Masvidal sweepstakes on August 17th. We shall see.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and special content, subscribe to ESPN+.